With a new Football Manager game not too far away, if you're anything like me, you're already planning out your transfers, who you're going to buy and who you're going to sell to rebuild your favourite club, and in that same breath, you'll also be thinking about which Wonderkids you're going to sign in the new game. Now, it has been a couple of years since the last official Football Manager game release, and since then, we've had new breakout stars, new Wonderkids rise up that we'd never heard of before. So today, I'm going to pick out 10 new Wonderkids that I think are going to be amazing in FM26. We'll see if I'm right or not, but I think these guys are going to be the new names that we all know by the time we start playing FM26. Now, obviously, as these players don't exist in the game yet, I'm not able to show you what they look like in FM26 because I know as little as you guys do, or even if they'll be in the game. So I'll be using Transfermarkt for today's video, but if you're someone that does want to try some of these players out in FM24, I'll leave a link in the description down below where you can get a download to add these guys to your save. And on top of that, whilst you're down there, check out the links for the FM26 giveaway that we're going to do, and also on top of that, if you're going to pre-order the new game, there is a link in the description which helps us out by using it, but also gets you money off the game to get it even cheaper. With all that being said, we're going to break right into my top 10, and if any of the players that you want to see in this list don't make it, let me know in the comments who are you most excited to see. But one player that I imagine a lot of you are going to say is Max Daumann. Now, I think if he is in FM26, he will be one of the best Wonderkids, if not the best Wonderkid in the game with really high potential. However, I'm not too sure if he will be in the game because of the age that he is. He's still very young, and for that reason, he might not actually meet the boundary of being able to be in the new Football Manager. So I'm going to call him an honorary mention. If he is in it, of course, he's going to be great, but he's not going to count in my top 10. One player I'm certain will be in the game, though, is Constantinos Karetsas, who is a Greek Wonderkid who already is 17 because it's been that long since a Football Manager game, but this will be his Football Manager debut for the player that already has 5 international appearances for his country and 2 goals. He's valued at 20 million and is currently playing for Genk in the Belgian first tier, which is a nation that he could have represented. Now, I think he's going to have really high potential in the next game. The first few people I'll cover, I think, are going to be good Wonderkids, and then as we get towards the end, I'll be picking out the ones that I think will be superstars, world beaters in every save. But definitely Karetsas is going to be one of those affordable Wonderkids that we all go for because he's not playing for a major team or anything just yet, as good as Genk are, and of course they are playing European football. I think he's obviously destined for more than this. He's playing regularly for a team of that level already, playing 6 times in the league and twice in the Europa League already this season, but this is someone that isn't at his peak of the club yet. He's not at Liverpool valued at 100 million or anything like that. He is still a player that could be potentially gettable in Football Manager, and for that reason, I think the young attacking midfielder will be the kind of player that everybody goes for. At the right price, he could be someone that could definitely develop into a superstar, and I fully expect he will be one in the new game. But that's player number 1 done. Let's move on to player number 2. And for my second pick, I have gone for Gabriel Mec, who I don't think will be one of the superstars of FM26, but will definitely be a good Wonderkid and potentially an affordable one as well from Grêmio in Serie A of Brazil. This is an attacking midfielder that can also play on the wings that has already attracted interest from the likes of Chelsea, Shakhtar Donetsk, and supposedly Barcelona. In fact, when I searched him up online, there was already those videos saying, welcome to Shakhtar Donetsk. So maybe he has made a move, or maybe it's some fans getting ahead of himself over on YouTube, but there is a lot of hype over this kid already. He's someone that, like many other players in Brazil, have got a lot of eyes on them. The young players get given an opportunity early there, whether it's Endrick, Esteval, Vitor Roque, Vinicius Jr., Neymar if you're going all the way back. They always get given a chance. There's always a lot of eyes on them, and a lot of people in Brazil have high hopes for Gabriel Mec already. I don't imagine he's going to be at Grêmio for too much longer with the amount of interest in him and the fact that a lot of these teams like Manchester City and Chelsea go out and buy these young stars before they really make a name for himself now in Brazil, just because they already know they're going to be good. So it wouldn't shock me if I see in a few months he's agreed to move somewhere else already. But Gabriel Mec is someone that in FM26 will have a lot of potential, I'm sure, and maybe like Esteval and Endrick was even a few years ago in FM, he could be a great value player that we can pick up and have straight into our sides, even if you're not the world's biggest club. So that's 2 down out of my 10, but before we get into the rest, if you are enjoying the video, make sure you smash the like button for me and subscribe for more. And like I said at the start of the video, let me know what Wonderkid you want to see in this list. Who are you most excited to see in FM26? Let me know in the comments down below. And whilst you're down there, if you want to check out my channel, you can find that linked in the description as well, where I make plenty more FM content. So if you like this, you'll probably like what we do over there. So make sure you check that out. But let's go and check out player number 3. And it's a player who at this point we have already heard plenty about. In fact, many of us might have already seen him play for Manchester United. It is Chido Obi Martin, a striker that was tearing it up in the youth levels for Arsenal, made a move over to United and has featured a few times already for Ruben Amorim, a player that there's a lot of hype around and future potential, but obviously when he has played for United so far, doesn't quite seem at the level just yet. And of course that is normal, being only 17, but he's still, because of how we've had the delay for FM25 getting cancelled, now FM26, we still haven't actually seen him in a Football Manager game. He's already made a transfer move at this point, made his Premier League debut, and we have never even seen the guy. But he's already a regular for his international team at youth level, playing for the Danish under-20 side 4 times and scoring 2 goals, and as mentioned, has already played for Manchester United and has been a big part of their team in the youth levels as well, in the Premier League too, for the United under-21 squad. And I imagine he is going to be a player that will be of high potential in FM. I don't see any way around that being the fact. He might even be the kind of player, because of his size, that if it's anything like FM24, will be really good in game, just because he's going to have that physical power. Even if he isn't technically the world's best, he will still do a great job in game. But I mean, I've never seen the kid play all that much. Maybe he is technically amazing, but he is someone that I know for certain is going to be a wonder kid by the time FM26 comes out. Now, we've already had one player that's moved over from a Premier League club and made his Premier League debut, and we've had a similar situation here with my next pick. Before we get into the guys that I think are going to be top level, the ones just outside of that bracket, I have got Rio Ngumoha of Liverpool. Of course, he was formerly of Chelsea. I believe he didn't sign a pro deal there and ended up signing at Liverpool instead, where they've actually given quite a lot of opportunities in pre-season, and of course this year, both in the Premier League, and I think he even made his Champions League debut as well now. Yes, he has, for 16 minutes. He's played 4 minutes in the Prem so far, but as we know, made a big impact, scoring that late winner against Newcastle. It was a tough game for Liverpool, but they did get over the line, and I think this is the kind of player that we're going to be seeing a lot more regularly. Supposedly, when Liverpool sold Luis Diaz, they had Rio Ngumoha in line already as to pick up some of his minutes. Obviously, Ekatike and Isaac and all those attacking players they've got are also going to be filling in that role, but I think we'll see a lot of this kid over the course of the season. Arne Slot clearly rates him, he trusts him, and the young Englishman is a player that I'm sure is going to have a high potential rating in FM26. Like Chido Obi Martin though, might be a bit hard to get in because he is already going to be at a very good club and valued at a very high level. So to actually get him to move across from that team is going to be pretty tough. The same way in FM24 you had Mikey Moore valued at 100 million instantly at Spurs. It just isn't going to happen until a few years into your save when anything could have gone on. Maybe he's left or had a contract issue. But as far as players that you can sign at the start of your save goes, I think Rio is going to be one of those that's just super hard to buy. But either way, he's definitely going to be a great wonder kid in next year's game. That's pretty weird to say. A player that's only just turned 16 has got a lot of experience in men's football already, but it is the case for young Jeremy Monga at Leicester, a player that I think will have a super high level of potential in FM26. Maybe I'll be wrong, but he is a player that at 16 and only just turned 16 as well, has already played in the Premier League for Leicester last season on 7 occasions, and this year has actually been fairly regular already in the Championship for Leicester, who is showing faith in him, where he's already scored a goal and got an assist in what is one of the most physical leagues in world football in the Championship, and Monga is managing to stand out. I think as the season goes on, we'll see him playing more and more. He's already regularly appearing for the England under-19 side. He's valued at supposedly 5 million, but who knows what his actual value will be, because supposedly Real Madrid are interested in him and have been for a long time now. I'm from Leicester and there's already a lot of big talk about this guy. A lot of people already want him to just start for Leicester on the left wing over established Championship players like Steffi Mavadidi, and to be even considered as someone that can displace those players at such a young age is obviously a credit to just how much talent this guy has, and whether the Real Madrid news is actually real or not, it certainly proves that there are teams sniffing around him, and of course there's going to be. When do you ever see a 15, 16-year-old playing in the Prem and playing in the Championship, not just for 2 or 3 minutes, but actually playing pretty regularly now in the Championship for Leicester City? And I'm sure as the season goes on, there'll be more and more eyes on him as he develops his game, physically develops as well, and I'm sure he'll be a winger that we'll be talking about for a long while if everything goes to plan. So he's my next pick of one of the ones I think will actually have big potential in game. One player to keep an eye on though, which is is a little bit similar to the Max Dowman story, where I'm not sure exactly if he's going to be in the game, but if he is, will have a really high level of potential, is Ibrahim Tounkara of Barcelona. Now, this is a young midfielder who can also play on the wing by the looks of it. Personally, I don't know too much about him, but according to everyone at La Masia and in Barcelona, he is the next one that they expect will come out of the academy into the first team. The same way they had with Lamine Yamal, it looks like Tounkara might be the next one on that list. And he actually travelled with the Barcelona squad to play against Newcastle in the Champions League. So that tells you how much promise Barcelona see him having. They're already bringing him along. Obviously, he isn't actually playing yet, so there's not too much to go off just yet, but supposedly he has been tearing up youth football. And if we know anything, it's that if there's a good young wonder kid in La Masia, in Football Manager, they're going to have super high potential. And I imagine Tounkara, if he is in the game, is going to be the next one of those. A guaranteed superstar in next year's game, though, is one we've been waiting for so long in FM, and it is Francesco Camarda of Milan. But currently he's on loan to a fellow Serie A club. This is a 17-year-old forward who has just been known since youth level for scoring goal after goal. In fact, for Italy's under-19s, he's played 10 times and scored 6. He is an out-and-out striker, and as you can see, his whole Italy career, he's been scoring 6 goals for the under-15s, 3 and 7 for the 16s, 11 in the under-17 side in only 17 matches, and now already into the under-19s for Italy. And if he keeps this up, it won't be long before he's an Italian international, a regular for his country. AC Milan view him with huge potential. They think he's going to be one of the world's next superstars. In only the 23-24 season, when he was super young, he was actually given some matches in Serie A, even if it wasn't for that long. Then in the 24-25 season, he makes 10 appearances at such a young age, getting 200 minutes, and now already he's nearly reached that minute total in Serie A this season for his loan club. So this will be the season where he really gets tested at a men's level. Is he going to be able to stand out and prove that he is a goal scorer at that kind of division? There's a lot of those players that do well at youth level, but maybe not in men's football, but Camarda certainly looks like he should be one of those that can just hit the ground running and become a household name in no time. £10 million valuation, how much he'll be worth in FM is a different question, but certainly going to be a superstar in FM26. But if this player is in FM26, he is probably going to be everybody's favourite bargain. It's Edwin Quintero. He's a young Ecuadorian midfielder that plays for Independiente del Valle and actually has a twin brother that plays for the same team. And supposedly, whether it was just paper talk or not, there were scouts after these kids all summer, and supposedly Arsenal were the front runners to sign both of them at the same time. For Ecuador, they are producing talent after talent in recent years, from Moises Caicedo to Kendry Paez, and now Edwin Quintero might be the next one. He mainly occupies on that right wing and is played regularly at youth level for Ecuador, but if he is in Football Manager, no doubt he will be a bargain, purely because he's playing in the Ecuadorian leagues, and for sure you'll be able to get him at a cut price to what he really should be worth. If we go to all of his seasons recently, he's another one where he hasn't played enough first team football for us to really know everything about him just yet, but by all accounts, he is one of those that is considered a superstar. And for the guys that helped me make this list at FM Scout, they consider him to be one of those people that should have super high potential in next year's game. So one to keep an eye on, and maybe in about a year's time, we'll learn a bit more about him. But for our final two, they are the ones I think will be the superstars of next year's game. Obviously Dowman as well if he's in it, but Lennart Karl is someone that almost certainly will be a superstar in next year's Football Manager. You never really see a player of this young making such an impact in such a big team already, but he is playing for Bayern Munich and even got an assist for Harry Kane in the recent Bundesliga match, taking a corner. So clearly they think he's pretty good if they're letting him take the corners and set pieces at Bayern already. This isn't like making your debut in the third tier of Germany. He is playing for Bayern Munich. Lennart Karl is a name we should all be looking to remember. He's been smashing it at youth level for Germany. At the under-17 side, he scored 7 goals in 13 and 5 in 9 for the under-16s. And of course now, he is playing Bundesliga football. 109 minutes in 3 games. He's not just getting 2 minutes off the bench. He is actually contributing and playing a fair bit. He's managing to work his way into that first team, and I'm sure as the season goes on, he'll get more and more game time. A lot of people think he's the next German star to come out of the Bundesliga. We've obviously seen Wirtz and Havertz in recent years, and I think Lennart Karl could be the next name that we see in that capacity of player where they're considered one of the world's best at such a young age. Germany is a place where these young players often get a chance to shine, but at Bayern Munich, that's as good a praise as any really, to be given an opportunity there, and I'm sure we'll see more and more of a 17-year-old as the season goes on. But then the final player is one that I think everyone is expecting to be a superstar. When FM25 came out, we thought he'd be the superstar of that game, and I'm sure he still will be one of the best players in FM26 when it comes to Wonderkids, it. It's Guille Fernandez, or Guille, I don't know how you pronounce it, but either way, he is a midfielder for Barcelona, a La Masia graduate who can play at the base of a midfield, but also potentially a little bit further forward. It does say main position is central midfield, though. Barcelona have obviously had some pretty good ones of them in the past. Iniesta, Xavi, now Pedri and Gavi. Will Fernandez ever get to their levels? Obviously, only time will tell, but there's a lot of hype around this kid, and I assume this season he'll be getting his debut in La Liga. I've been having a look. It doesn't look like he's currently made it just yet, but he's a regular for the Spanish under-19 side. He is considered one of the best in his position in the world in his age group, and having only just turned 17, I think we'll be seeing more and more of this kid over the course of the season. Currently is supposedly injured, so maybe once that's over, we'll see him breaking in to that Barcelona first team, and because of the way that La Masia do things, they take to it like a duck to water. I'm sure Fernandez will be the kind of name that we all know in a year or so's time. But there we go, there's 10 Wonderkids I think are going to be some of the best in FM26. Who do you think we've missed? Let us know in the comments and we'll check them out. But I'm definitely excited to try these guys out in FM26, and remember, if you're going to pre-order the game, use the link in the description to get yourself a discount and to help us out. But with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.